Chapter 81 Fierce Battle Against the Eternal Emperor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Emperor Eternal's clothes were a little messy, and his complexion was quite bad. He was dressed in white with some blood stains on it. Tian frowned slightly. As expected of the physical imprint of the head of the ages, it was simply beyond imagination. If other physical imprints were attacked in this way, they would have long since turned into clouds and dissipated between heaven and earth. But Emperor Xuanhuan was safe and sound, only his clothes were ragged and there were a few drops of blood stains. If you were placed in this emperor's era, your strength would definitely surpass everyone else, like a dragon in the sky, defying the world and the 9 heavens. Unfortunately, today's battle with this emperor is doomed to decline. The corners of Emperor Xuanhuan's lips curled up slightly, and he became more and more fond of this young man of his own family. At the same time, the 3-year-old boy also proved that the Yi family had successors who did not disappoint him. That being the case, you can give it a go. He also wants to see, where is the limit of this young man? Can it break the eternal record and create a new myth? Primeval Great Desolation Fist, that the eternal emperor made a move, and above the palm of his hand, an ancient aura surged out, overwhelming everything in the world. At this moment, everyone except Xuanhuan seemed to be hallucinating, as if in an ancient world. Birds and beasts are extremely ferocious, eating people and all things, devouring the sky and the earth, and destroying everything. But in an instant, everyone reacted again. It's just an illusion, but looking up again, the entire battle. Space is extremely hazy, with yellow sand all over the sky, chaos sweeping, fierce beasts roaring, and ghosts neighing. A gigantic ancient ferocious beast charged straight at Tian, trying to crush it. This is the real big horror. It's not comparable to the true dragon fist that Tian showed just now. Above Tian's palm, divine light surged, trying to resist this blow, but it's too strong, and I can't resist it at all. Accompanied by a roar, Tian backed up again and again, and there were some cracks on the crystal body. Then there was another punch, and that space shattered, and the endless turbulence tore apart the starry sky. Wherever Tian was, the space would be distorted, and with a bang, a divine light suddenly appeared, making it impossible to detect. Is this really a physical imprint of the Qi and blood realm? That the scene in front of him simply refreshed everyone's 3 views. Even Xuanhuan stared at him, not to mention the children of the Yi family, the elders of the Yi family in various halls. When have you seen such a scene? The realm of Qi and blood can be so fierce. This is refreshing their understanding of practice. In the realm of Qi and blood, being able to fight fierce beasts is extremely proud and satisfied, but compared with others, it's nothing. What is the gap? This is the gap, an insurmountable gap. The leader of the ages, the reputation is well deserved. The more you witness it with your own eyes, the more you can feel his terror. My God, Xuanhuan was worried. The moment she saw the cracks in Tian's body, she felt her heart was about to break, and her eye sockets gradually became moist. I also feel a little regretful in my heart. Why didn't I say a word to remind me just now? If he had known this earlier, he would have warned him not to let Tian challenge the leader of all ages, eternal emperor. Compared with the physical body, even his own husband is no match for him. Husband. Xuanhuan said to her husband. Her eyes were full of worry, but Xuanhuan was indifferent, comforting his wife, and said at the same time, this is the path Tian chose, and he should walk it by himself, regardless of success or failure. But deep in his eyes, there is still an uncontrollable worry, but he knows very well that the Xuanhuan from the mountain of corpses and the sea of blood is the real Xuanhuan. Tian's journey has only just begun. With such a heavy blow, even if you don't die, you will still be injured. Can't you continue to challenge? Eternal Emperor is too powerful. He is not the same kind of creature as us. He seems to have stepped into another level of life. The blow just now, in the same realm, no one can block it, and it can even kill it with one punch. Tian is indeed powerful. With a mortal body to achieve this level, he even has the qualifications to challenge the Emperor of the Ages, and face the distant ancestors of his Yi family. It's a pity. Hey, not everyone outside is amazed, but also regretful. What they saw today will definitely be remembered in their lifetime, and they will never forget it. First, Tian crushed hundreds of Xuanhuan, then with 3 punches and 2 kicks, he knocked out the 7 peerless Tianjiao including Long Shao Tian, Long Bichi, and Prince Qilin. Later, I saw the appearance of Emperor Eternal with my own eyes. Even the imprint of the physical body is enough to boast for countless years. Yi Tian and Eternal Emperor fought again, and the battle between the two also refreshed their understanding of cultivation. Where is the limit of Qi and blood realm? Maybe only the Emperor Eternal knows. However, just when everyone thought Yi Tian was about to end, a voice suddenly came out. Senior is really merciless. The power of this blow is enough to instantly kill dozens of Tianjiao of the same realm, but unfortunately, I can't be defeated. The vision dissipated, and the original appearance of the battle space appeared. The starry sky was bright, dazzling and fascinating, and among the stars, a young figure emerged. The body was extremely crystal clear, like a beautiful jade, bursting out with dazzling brilliance, exuding a sacred aura, like a god. At this moment, he is not injured at all, and he is full of energy. Since the seniors don't hold back. Then decide the real head of the ages, that a hazy atmosphere of chaos emerged from Yi Tian's body, and the entire battle space seemed to be in chaos, which was too terrifying. At the same time, behind Yi Tian, a phantom of a god emerged, sitting cross-legged high above the 9 heavens, arbitrarily ruling the sky and suppressing everything. Yi Tian's young body, with intertwined lines and entangled laws, seems to contain infinite energy. Seeing this scene, even Emperor Eternal was dumbfounded. The power of chaos. Emperor Wangu narrowed his eyes slightly, as if he didn't even think of it. He, a descendant of the Yi family, has mastered the power of chaos. Since ancient times, only the super physique in mythology, which contains the origin of chaos and dominates the universe, has mastered the power of chaos, respected by the world, and invincible forever. And this scene, in the eyes of everyone outside, did not cause much fluctuation here, just because Yi Junlin fused a drop of chaos blood for Yi Tian earlier. Everyone just thought that it was the drop of chaos divine blood that worked. As everyone knows, the current Yi Tian is a great chaotic body. Fun. It's not in vain that this emperor's physical imprint has been revived. Come again. Chapter 82 is the curtain coming to an end? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Eternal Emperor, his eyes are no longer frivolous, but solemn. At this moment, he finally recognized Yi Tian as his real opponent, because he is so invincible that throughout the ages, no one in the entire heavens and myriad worlds is his opponent, and no one can break his record. The limit to break through in the realm of Qi and blood is a mountain that cannot be surpassed by future generations. Even his physical imprint has not been revived. To this day, he, a descendant of the Yi family, has broken this deadlock, not only awakened his physical imprint, but also traumatized him. After being hit by his own immemorial Xuanhuan fist, he was still safe and sound, standing between the heaven and the earth, and, just a 3-year-old child, now it shows extraordinary power, and even controls the power of chaos in the myth. People from the outside thought that the chaotic blood in his body had taken effect, but how could everything be hidden from the eyes of Emperor Eternal? Let's win the battle. Let this emperor see the mythical first physique of all ages. Yi Tian also had this intention. His young body burst out with infinite energy. The laws are intertwined, and the runes are intertwined. Like an ancient beast, behind the reflection of the divine ring, a phantom sitting cross-legged above the 9 heavens suppresses the sky and shakes the universe like a fairy king. In a single thought, the sky collapses and the earth shatters, and everything dies. The power of Qi and blood is overwhelming, like a vast ocean, sweeping out. Yi Tian made a move, stepped out with one step, and punched out with a punch, wrapped in crimson light, and the air of chaos radiated out, like a majestic and radiant sun. The Eternal Emperor was no longer vague, and came out with one hand, and the power of the law was condensed in his hand, surpassing everything. It was also bombarded with a punch, and the fight between the two was like a beast, punching to the flesh. Every punch surpassed the realm of Qi and blood, bombarded on the opponent's body. Blood flew across the sky. If there are people of the same age here, they will definitely not dare to go forward. Random punch is enough to wipe out a person of the same age, turn into ashes, and dissipate in the world. The fight between the two is no longer that extravagant, powerful, and dazzling. Instead, they return to the mundane world, just like people fighting in the marketplace, a pure physical competition, the blood boiled, and the fighting instincts of the two were stimulated to the extreme. The more he fought, the more frightened Emperor Wangu became, because he found that, Yi Tian's physical recovery and physical divine power are too strong, faintly surpassing him, especially the recovery ability. Even if it is a shocking injury, under the nourishment and circulation of the power of chaos, it can instantly recover to its original state, like a beautiful jade. Instead, it was me, just a mark, unable to exert its full power. There are many restrictions, and I can't break through my original physical strength in actual combat. I can only use the limit left by the mark, and I can't break the limit, and the recovery ability is far inferior to the main body. In the battle between the two, the balance of victory gradually tilted. Even if it is the head of the ages, it can't stop my way. The top of the list can also be beheaded. Yi Tian was crazy, with a small body, unlimited potential, and his hair was flying, the runes flowed in the eyes, and the brand marks on the body were faintly visible and extremely bright. Fist wind and palm prints kept coming out. The speed is extremely fast, invisible to the naked eye, like lightning, and the power is not weak at all, just like the world-destroying thunder. From time to time there is light reflected in the space, some weaker space barriers will be broken, and then repaired by the eternal body list. Another solid punch. Emperor Wangu blocked it with both arms, but there was also a fishy sweetness welling up from his throat. He backed up again and again, but couldn't bear it, and was beaten back. He is the majestic emperor of all ages, standing at the top of the list for endless years, and now he has been repulsed. Even Emperor Eternal himself was quite surprised, not to mention that the crowd watching the battle outside has already begun to boil. Even Yi Junlin himself was a little dumbfounded, his mouth slightly opened. It seems a little bit beyond my expectations. Yi Junlin said thoughtfully, his eyes gleamed with brilliance. As deep as the abyss of the universe, Emperor Eternal is a member of his Yi family, and as the God Emperor of the present world, he can still feel the weak blood connection. It is impossible to trace the specific era, but as the number one on the list of eternal physical bodies, it has never changed hands in countless ages. Even himself, the God Emperor, couldn't defeat him. His own son was able to beat him back. In this way, isn't there a glimmer of hope for victory? At the same time, after seeing his child's ferocity, he was even more thankful that Tian did not choose the third challenge, otherwise he would be the one who suffered. Those who watched the battle through the endless void felt more curious and looked forward to it. This is the real battle of the peak of Qi and blood. This is the real battle that spans the ages. Which of the two is stronger and weaker? Is the Eternal Emperor superior, or the son of the God Emperor creating miracles? In the battle space, the two continue to bombard and kill. Looking around, even this starry sky was destroyed, the space was shattered, black holes emerged, the stars were shattered, and countless meteorites were rolling. The battle space here is created by the eternal physical body list, and it is not comparable to the real cosmic starry sky. After all, both of them are at the peak of Qi and blood realm, and their destructive power is the strongest, but they are not capable of fighting under the real starry sky. Primeval Great Desolation Fist. 6 Paths of Samsara Fist. The fists and feet of the two are like swift meteors. The attack is fast, the power is not weak, and the mountain will be broken. However, Yi Tian's advantage is getting bigger and bigger. He is fighting with his real body, his physical body is constantly breaking through the limit, coupled with his Desheng chaotic body, his potential is unlimited, his recovery is astonishing, and all the injuries he suffered can be recovered in an instant. But Eternal Emperor is a bit inferior. He is just a physical imprint, not his body. Now the scar of this imprint is becoming more and more obvious. It is about to be broken, and it is already on the verge. Yi Tian's eyes are bright, wrapped in the air of chaos, piercing through everything, and analyzing everything in the world. Grasping the momentary flaw of Emperor Wangu, he punched him in the chest. Blood sprinkled the starry sky. Blooming in the sky, extremely beautiful, like stars and flowers. This punch directly pierced through the chest of the imprint of the body of the Eternal Emperor. The great Emperor Wangu retreated again and again. His eyes were dull, and he was absent-minded for a moment. He, the leader of the ages for countless ages, is he about to lose today? He is not willing. But he smiled indifferently. They have successors from the Yi family in the past, and they have the arrogance to truly surpass themselves. The heights that can be achieved in the future, even myself, can't do it. Hongmeng Tai Xian, Qianyu. Break. Eternal Emperor used his unique skill, which was a blow that gathered all the power of his physical imprint. With this blow, no matter whether Yi Tian can be defeated or not, the physical mark will dissipate. Chapter 83 The New Leader of All Ages. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Eternal Emperor gathered all his divine power, like a god of war. The sound of sacrifice resounded all over his body, and the universe starry sky centered on him. The battle space is collapsing, and the endless fragments seem to be unable to withstand this magnificent divine power. The eternal flesh body list is constantly releasing energy and repairing the battle space, but it was too strong. The energy planets under the starry sky exploded one after another, and the order of the world disappeared, as if they wanted to annihilate everything and shatter everything. Yi Tian frowned slightly, cautious in his heart. He also felt the difficulty of this move. After all, the Eternal Emperor existed too long ago, too long to be traced or explored. In the long river of time, it has been cut off. There are too many secrets in the past, present and future. There are too few supernatural powers with such power in this world. Even if there are, how many of them can practice? Behind Yi Tian, the phantoms of 3,000 chaos demon gods shattered and stepped out of the void, surrounded by the power of chaos, and the energy released seemed to destroy everything and recreate the chaos of the sky. Chaos opens the sky. That this is the supernatural power of the chaotic body. Chaos opens the sky, destroys all things, and cuts off the past and the present. Yi Tian vaguely sensed that this was Emperor Eternal's dying counterattack, the final blow. If you resist it, you will be the new head of the ages. From now on, the list of eternal physical bodies will be respected by oneself. He will perform miracles and break the eternal record. There may even be a boulevard reward for doing so. But if it is defeated, it will be nothing forever, and all the previous efforts will be in vain, and there will be no gains. The system also seemed to know that this was a critical moment, so it was much quieter and did not dare to disturb. Is this the trick in the legend? Yi Junlin said in disbelief, as if he knew the origin of the supernatural powers used by Emperor Wangu. Husband, why do you do this? Why can't even I, the peak god emperor, see the mystery of it? It seems, it doesn't belong to this era. Yu Liuli asked Yi Junlin. Even he, the peak god emperor, couldn't see the mystery, and the power is astonishing. Even the battle space created by the eternal physical body list is collapsing, unable to withstand such great power. This is the supernatural power of the ancient times. No, it should be before the ancient times, and the inheritance has been lost. Even I, the current god emperor, only know a little bit. Everyone knows that the ancient era is the most distant era, the beginning of all things. Actually, the ancient era is just a fault. Before the ancient times, it was the heyday of the heavens and the world. As for why this fault appeared, even time cannot reappear. This is the big secret, the big horror, and this level cannot be touched. Yi Junlin said mysteriously, as if he was describing something terrible. Yu Liuli didn't ask any more questions, thinking that she was at the peak of the heavens and worlds. Now it seems, the world has too many secrets, and even they may not be able to know everything. But so what? In today's era, the Wangu family is still the head of the heavens, unshakable, continuing to look up. They are also nervous about their children, challenged the leader of all ages. They had to use supreme supernatural powers to push the emperor into a desperate situation. They were all proud of their Tianer for being able to do so. Even if you lose, you will have no regrets, and you will be famous through the ages, and your name will go down in history. If you win, you will be the leader of all ages. Their eternal Yi family and the sons of the God Emperor will once again resound through the heavens and worlds, and their fame will shake the sky and the universe. Yi Linglong, Yi Dan, and Yi Jianshan also got serious. Their faces were serious. They stared at the battle space closely, not in the usual relaxed state. My heart is silently praying. And the rest of the immortal forces are also staring closely, but the inner thoughts are quite the opposite, different from it. If Yi Tian becomes the new eternal leader, do other forces still play? You, the Yi family, have been arbitrarily asserting the sky, and your luck is at its peak, and you are getting stronger from generation to generation. Does this make other forces dare? Are you going to make soy sauce? It still sets off the strength of your Xuanhuan family. The Phoenix clan, the Qinglian clan, the primordial dragon clan, the Thunder Emperor clan, and countless other races of great evil from the heavens are all paying attention, some immortal orthodoxy, super sects, family holy places, among which there are ancestors at the level of living fossils, all have shortness of breath, in this world of great strife. Is it possible to let this meteor fly into the sky and illuminate the starry sky of all worlds? In the battle space, both are ready to attack, the final blow. Chaos opens the sky. Hongmeng Taishian, Qianyu. Break. As if the world was exploding, thousands of cosmic starry skies were about to be annihilated, the powerful force pierced through the sky, the battle space was submerged, and the extreme light was so dazzling that no one outside could detect it. The chaos opened up, and as soon as the vision appeared, who would fight for the front, the sky, and the universe trembled like a flat white paper. And the battle between the two touched the heartstrings, the 3,000 chaos demon gods roared. And roared, each exhibiting their abilities, creating a myriad of creations and presenting them in the world. Boom boom boom, the sound of violent bang, like thunder, resounded through the sky, as if a world had been shattered. Some disciples with weaker cultivation bases covered their ears one after another. It was terrifying and deafening. And those Tianjiao children are also trembling at this moment. There is an energy mask in front of them, which their parents used to resist the aftermath released from the battle space, for fear of affecting their own Tianjiao children. The little master must win. Huang Ruoshi and Su Qinglian's eyes were full of anticipation. A burst of white light shone in the sky and then disappeared, and everyone could feel the extremely ancient breath venting out. Immediately opened his eyes and looked into the battle space. Who wins? Coming soon. As for the combat space, it was no longer as vibrant as it was before, and there was no cosmic starry sky, mottled and shining. The battle space at this moment is no different from the collapsed universe world entering the boundless darkness. The law is broken, and the space is like glass, with cracks everywhere. Suddenly, divine light flickered, and two figures appeared in front of everyone. It is the physical imprint of Yi Tian and Emperor Eternal. The Emperor Eternal was no longer as invincible as before. He was above the world, his clothes were ragged and his hair was messy. He was between illusion and reality, and he seemed to be dissipating. And Yi Tian was also covered in scars, bleeding from the corner of his mouth, but he still stood proudly, incomparably sacred, like a young god of war. The corner of his lips twitched, and he said with a smile, "It seems. Haha, my eternal Yi family has successors, so this emperor can rest assured. In the not-too-distant future, we will meet again." The great Emperor Xuanhu stood up slowly. His body was already cracked, emitting light spots continuously. He couldn't hold on any longer, but he still said with a smile, "Little guy, by then, don't let this emperor down." As the voice fell, the eternal emperor dissipated into a spot of light. At the same time, the list of the eternal body list has also changed. The top of the list is no longer the eternal emperor. The first place on the eternal body list has officially changed hands. Top of the list, human race, Yi Tian, 300 million caddies of divine power. But it's not over yet. A voice like Hong Zhong de Lu pierced through the world and echoed in everyone's ears. Even the entire eternal immortal realm can clearly hear it. That is the real Dao Tianyin. Chapter 84, Breaking the Eternal Record, Wild Body Training Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just like Huang Zhong Dalu, it resounds between the heaven and the earth and echoes in the ears of everyone. It seems that the entire eternal immortal realm, and even the heavens and myriad worlds, all creatures and creatures can hear it. This is the voice of the avenue, penetrating all time and space, penetrating everything, and seems to announce something. And Yi Tian also left the battle space after the battle ended. The list changed. Yi Tian in the battle space was still covered in scars, which made Yi Junlin and his wife cry, with hazy corners of their eyes, as if mist appeared. This is the care and concern of parents, the most precious feeling in the world. After exiting the battle space, Yi Junlin hugged Yi Tian with one move and put him in his arms. Miraculously, Yi Tian's injuries recovered as before. His body was still crystal clear, his blood boiled like a vast ocean, and his meridians were extremely hard, even surpassing the ancient beast. today's Yi Tian has created a miracle, and also broke through the limits of the physical body of the creatures in the heavens and the world, 300 million caddies. This is the real physical limit. When Yi Junlin, the god emperor of the world, was at the peak of qi and blood, he only had 150 million caddies. If you compare the childhood of the two, Yi Tian is undoubtedly a great devil. Among people of the same age, I am afraid that they dare not have conflicts with Yi Tiansheng, otherwise they will be slapped flat. Yi Junlin also wanted to investigate further. He felt that his son might not be immortal. The upper and lower limits of mortal body are very low. It is impossible to achieve this level. It's not impossible to become the leader of all ages, but he dared not even dream of it. But it actually happened, and just when Yi Junlin was about to investigate in depth, Yi Tian was still a little scared that his father found his great chaotic body system. With this system in place, the host can put his heart in his stomach. And the fact is the same, even the god emperor in the present world can only find out that Yi Tian is a mortal body. Tianer is also the head of the ages. After seeing Yi Tian, Yu Liuli was extremely happy, snatched him over, hugged her into her arms, and kissed that little face twice. Those Tianzhao children and Yi family's children were extremely silent at the moment and had nothing to say. He is a real humanoid beast, the eternal leader who has broken the limit of the physical body. He never dared to provoke again. Otherwise a punch would be enough to turn him into a pulp. Long Xiaotian was extremely resentful before, but now although he is unwilling, he hates Yi Tian to the core, but he didn't dare to show it clearly. Can't compare with the background, can't compare with the strength, can only wait for the opportunity, and then make a move in the future. Go ahead and develop first. And in other immortal orthodoxy, among the wild ancient families, the same is not peaceful. Yi Tian became the leader of the ages, defeated the emperor of the ages, and became the new leader, and in terms of the strength of the physical body alone, it actually broke the physical body, and the limit reached 300 million caddies. This is no longer something that a mere human race can do. No, among the heavens and all races, no one can do it. The immortal saint physique and Taicang hegemony physique, which are best at the physical body, are far inferior and are left behind. What real dragons, unicorns and other ancient fierce beasts, simply competing with the flesh, in the same realm, will definitely be torn apart by Yi Tian like chopping vegetables. Wangu Yi family, the prosperity is so far. God, open your eyes, give me a chance. Wangu Ye's family is the #1 family in the heavens, and their luck is still so strong. Each generation is stronger than the last. How can I survive? The living fossil-level patriarch with a super-holy place roared up to the sky, shouting dissatisfaction, feeling unwilling. This life, he had used the techniques against the sky to calculate that it was the most prosperous time and era since ancient times. The divine way revived, the powers competed for hegemony, and fought for the destiny. I thought it was a golden world where all the heroes rise together and there are thousands of races, but why? The emergence of such a monstrous monster from the younger generation has simply refreshed people's understanding of cultivation, constantly breaking the limit and breaking the limit. They think God is unfair. Boom! 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 A bell rang, pulling back everyone's thoughts, as if the avenue was ringing. Could it be, is the Tao going to manifest? Could it be that you heard our wailing and are willing to stand up for me? Ha ha ha, the Tao has a spirit. Some living fossils were extremely excited. They were still crying for injustice just now. Now that the bell is ringing on the avenue, it is obvious, this is the big knife responding to them. Are you finally going to stand up for these forces? However, just when everyone was wondering, the sky and the earth corresponded, and the sound of the avenue and the sky resounded and echoed in the sky. Wangu Yi family, Yi Tian, the son of the god emperor, broke through the list of the Wangu flesh body. Using my own power, kill through the list, defeat the emperor of all ages, and become the leader of all ages. Successfully broke the eternal record. The Tao felt something, and gave him a Tao reward, wild body training technique. The heavenly sound of the great avenue reverberates in the sky, shakes the sky, can be heard in the whole heavens and myriad worlds, and resounds in the ears of all living beings. At this moment, no matter whether it is the heavens and the clans, or the immortal forces, the great families of the Holy Land, regardless of the elders and the children of each family, voices rang in their ears. Savage body refining technique? If I remember correctly, this is the supreme supernatural power of the ancient times. It can temper the meridians of a body to become truly immortal, and the body will last forever. If you cooperate with the invincible physical body, the physical body alone can blow up the opponent in the same realm, a powerful person exclaimed, and said to the people beside him. His eyes were full of inconceivable expressions, and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. If the old man remembers correctly, the last person who possessed the barbaric body training technique was also a member of the Yi family. In the barbaric era, he defeated the contemporaries of all clans' arrogance with his physical body alone, and finally achieved the highest achievement. However, she disappeared mysteriously, and her identity became a mystery. There was an old man with white hair and a childlike face, stroking his beard with his hand. His eyes were bright, as if he had thought of something. Ever since the strong man from the Yi family disappeared, the barbaric body training technique has also disappeared. Now it has reappeared, and it has returned to the descendants of the Yi family in the form of Tao rewards. It can also be regarded as returning to the original owner, but the wild body training technique combined with the physical body of the eternal leader is too terrifying, beyond what I thought. With such a configuration, even a mortal body can be tempered to the highest level in the heavens. By following the physical training route alone, the body can be sanctified, extraordinary and refined, sweeping away everything. Yi Junlin was also quite satisfied with this and nodded. However, things are far from over. Above the sky, the void is distorted, and a golden light illuminates the sky like the sun. It slowly fell down and fell into Yi Tian's palm. It is an ancient book made of energy, with runes flowing, and big golden characters branded on it, turning into a stream of light and sinking into Yi Tian's eyebrows. Savage, Body Training. Chapter 85. Step into the Road of Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is the legendary supreme body refining magic. Even Yi Tian was amazed for a moment, feeling the golden ceremony that had entered his mind, and fell into silence. The wild body refining technique tempers the physical body to the extreme, develops the physical body to the extreme. It is immortal, and it is always at the peak of the physical body. In the same realm, not only can the physical body be sanctified, invincible in the world, but also the lifespan of oneself can be extended to more than twice that of others. At the same time, the body is the foundation of cultivation, and the beginning of all things is their own blood and body. The so-called supernatural powers, the so-called precious arts, and the realm of continuous improvement on this basis are all based on the physical body. It can be said that after Yi Tian reached the top of the list of eternal physical bodies, his physical body itself is a kind of divine weapon, capable of punching through the sky and shattering magic weapons. Now that he has obtained the wild body refining technique, it is no longer enough to describe him as invincible. System. Hey, when did this avenue of the heavens and the world become so generous? That at the same time, Yi Tianming realized the changes in his own body, coupled with the fusion of Deshang's chaotic body. Even his blood turned into a chaotic color, extremely crystal clear. In the realm of qi and blood, I have already broken the limit. But I will never stop here. I want to break the limit in every realm and achieve the eternal name of invincibility. Yi Tian's eyes are bright, like stars, and the energy and blood in his body are surging like a vast ocean. Spiritual energy circulates between the meridians and circulates around the sky. It's time to step into the realm of awakening. In the realm of qi and blood, there is no way to go. Because he is the pinnacle of qi and blood realm. The wild body refining technique in his mind seemed to have sensed the determination of its master. Dazzling and bright, the golden light blooms, releasing strands of golden aura, and the runes shine, helping it temper the meridians and flesh, and even the bones emit divine brilliance. Immortal bone. Not to be outdone, densely packed runes are intertwined, emitting infinite light. Yi Tian is like the sun, constantly breaking through the confinement. At this moment, Yi Tian has decided to step into the awakening state, and he will not go down the old path. He will embark on a new path of awakening. If you can't break the stereotypes, stick to the old ways, and follow the old path that our ancestors have walked. How can we talk about being invincible? How can we talk about going further on the road of the Great Road, and even surpassing it? Yi Junlin and Yu Liuli looked at each other. knowing that their child had been settled for 2 years, and it was time to make a breakthrough. The two retreated one after another, leaving the central one to Yi Tian. At this time, Yi Tian seemed to be the only protagonist in this world, attracting everyone's attention and shocking the whole world. What? This is about to break through. That the son of the North Pole stood up in shock, looked at Yi Tian in the center of the square, and was too shocked to speak. At the realm of qi and blood, they can easily crush them, and even kill ghosts and ghosts with a single sword. Then he became the leader of all ages, with a punch of 300 million caddies. Now that he has obtained the wild body refining technique, he is becoming more and more powerful. At this moment, if you break the shackles and step onto the road of awakening, you will surely skyrocket and ride the wind. From now on, among the peers, even the younger generation in the entire eternal immortal territory, who else could be Yi Tian's opponent? If we talk about the current world, I am afraid there is no one. Only those ancient freaks and taboo arrogants can break their wrists with him. Otherwise, who else would dare to go up to die? At the same time, the children of the Yi family and the elders of the Yi family were also very concerned. Mortal bodies have created so many miracles. Only by stepping into the road of awakening and opening up the spiritual sea in the body can one be regarded as a real monk. The realm of qi and blood is to build a perfect foundation and continuously increase your upper limit. But after stepping into the road of awakening and opening up the spiritual sea in the body, he will be able to use supernatural powers and learn all kinds of murderers' treasures, as well as the legacy of human power. As for the supernatural powers that Yi Tian used in the battle with the Eternal Emperor just now, they were all forcibly activated with the power of qi and blood, so they can't be regarded as real supernatural powers. If it is activated by the spiritual sea in the body, the degree of damage will be doubled directly. It is also extremely difficult to open up the spiritual sea in the body. It is necessary to be in the peak state of the individual, maintain perfection, concentrate, operate spiritual power, and open up a spiritual sea, and the scope of opening up the spiritual sea will also directly determine the personal combat power. Generally speaking, ordinary Tianjiao can open up a spiritual sea with a range of hundreds of feet. As for those Tianjiao with super physique, they can open up a spiritual sea with a range of thousands of feet, like the son of the North Pole. The son of Yuhan, the young master of the Xuanhuan, the son of Yaoguang and others, they are all geniuses with super physiques, with extraordinary strength, and have been vigorously cultivated by the forces. When they first opened up the spiritual sea, they basically opened up more than 1,000 feet, and their strength is not bad, and they are at the same level. As for Long Xiaotian, he has the blood of the Dragon King, is accompanied by an innate keel, and has full aptitude, coupled with the hard training of the ancestor dragon nest. When the spiritual sea was first opened up, it lived up to everyone's expectations and opened up a foot spiritual sea, and it was also a very special Dragon King Linghai. Dragon King Linghai is rare in the entire ancient dragon clan. The aura of the avenue and the power of the law contained in it are far beyond the ordinary spiritual sea, but being awakened by Long Xiaotian is enough to show his aptitude. Long Xiaotian looked nervous at the moment, staring at Yi Tian closely. He has been left far behind in terms of physical body, and it is difficult to even see his back. But Yi Tian is only a mortal body after all. If he steps into the road of awakening and opens up the spiritual sea, he may not be able to compare with him, and he opened up the foot Dragon King Linghai, which is enough to suppress Yi Tian in this respect, right? At this moment, he didn't dare to say that he had full confidence in being able to suppress it. After all, Yi Tian is not a master who plays cards according to the normal routine. It can't be measured by common sense. He seems to be an evildoer who breaks common sense, and Yi Tian is like a planet at this moment, surrounded by divine rings, setting it off extremely sacred, releasing boundless brilliance from behind. Surrounded by 7 colors of divine light, the energy of the immortal bone and the energy of the chaotic body complement each other, which is extremely terrifying. When it is scattered, within 10 steps, it seems to have turned into an ocean of laws, intertwined with spiritual energy, and filled the sky with rays of light, but the energy of the chaotic body and the energy of the fairy bones were shielded by the system. Even Yi Junlin could only feel a mysterious force washing Yi Tian's body, but he couldn't detect it. As for the elders of the immortal force and the Yi family's children, they could only see the scattered spiritual light and divine brilliance, and thought it was the effect of the chaos divine blood, so they didn't think much about it. At this moment, Tian suddenly opened his eyes, powerful energy surged out, like a raging sea, tearing the space apart. Ling Hai, open. Chapter 86 The Great Chaotic Spiritual Sea. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With the sound of Tian's immature voice, that young body suddenly burst out with boundless power, as if to destroy the world. The divine light was so bright that everyone couldn't open their eyes. At the same time, the stars above the endless sky bloomed with brilliant divine light, reflecting each other, as if they were witnessing the birth of a genius. The divine light of the boundless galaxy descended, all gathered around Tian's body. Like a sacrifice, Tian's body became more crystal clear, and seemed to have grown a lot invisibly. A 3-year-old child has the body of a 5 or 6-year-old. System, host, do you want to? The system has guessed some possibility. It's exactly what Tian thought. He has been laying down and lying down, and now he is forced to be invincible, so he can do it in one step. After things are over here, you can continue to play happily. Everyone was paying attention, and they wanted to see if this new leader in the eternal physical body could perform any feats when he stepped into the road of awakening and opened up the spiritual sea. Sure enough, Tian squeezed the spell with both hands, and the endless spiritual energy of heaven and earth, as if about to be empowered, formed a big tornado, which was all absorbed and swallowed by Tian, wailing everything. The spiritual energy in this area seems to be drained, forming a hurricane, rushing into Tian's body, as if it can hold everything. Outside the body, the looming brand marks shone with light. The potential of the Desheng chaotic body was fully stimulated, and the spiritual sea in the body, washed away by the endless spiritual energy, finally appeared a bright spot in the dark and chaotic source, and then expanded wildly. This is the embryonic form of Ling Hai, the starting point of all monks. As for the extent to which this point can be expanded wildly, it depends on the strength of its owner. The spiritual point was washed out, and Tian also noticed it, but what is strange is that there is a chaotic breath in this spiritual point. Tian's eyes shone brightly. At this moment, he had successfully integrated the Desheng chaos body and controlled the origin of chaos. Could it be that, at this moment, what he wants to open up is the chaotic spiritual sea in the myth? The chaotic spiritual sea and the Dragon King's spiritual sea are of the same nature, but they are different. The chaotic spiritual sea ranks first among many special spiritual seas. A chaotic spiritual sea of feet can even be compared to an ordinary spiritual sea of feet to such an extent it was terrifying. Those Tianjiao with super physique can only awaken the ordinary spiritual sea of 1,000 feet. Tian didn't hesitate at all. A massive amount of aura continued to wash over his body, and the aura of chaos spread around him, helping him to break through. The spiritual point in the body was continuously expanded, and in an instant, it became 100 feet. Of course, this is just the beginning. Everyone present didn't even dare to breathe, and watched closely, for fear of missing anything. Like the Holy Son of the North Pole, the Holy Son of Yuhan, the young master of Xuanhuan, etc., they have already doubted life. Their eyes have become flat, and they feel that life is boring. I originally thought that I was a peerless arrogance cultivated by my family's sacred place, and in the future I would participate in a great world struggle for the position of hegemony, and compete for the unique position of destiny. Unexpectedly, when he was only 6 or 7 years old, his Dao heart was on the verge of collapse after being hit by a 3-year-old child. I looked down on this 3-year-old boy before, but he directly climbed to the top of the eternal physical body list, defeated the eternal emperor, and became the top of the eternal. Such an arrogance, even if they spend their whole lives chasing after them, they may not be able to see their backs. Already numb from the shock, if Tian did anything against the heavens at this moment, they would feel that it was nothing. He would only secretly say, "Isn't this what it should be? This kid has created so many miracles, is there anything to be surprised about? You say that he has achieved the position of God Emperor at the age of 3, I dare not believe it." After half a stick of incense, under Tian's full power, that small spot expanded wildly. Now it is visible to the naked eye, and it has turned into a real spiritual sea, which has been opened up to about 1,000 feet. Moreover, as the system expected, what Tian opened up was the chaotic spiritual sea that only a chaotic body could open up. The real leader of the spiritual sea, now only 1,000 feet has been opened up. which is equivalent to 5,000 feet of an ordinary spiritual sea. It's just. Tian is low-key by nature, he just wants to show off, and he doesn't want to be so high-key in front of others, therefore, the system blocked his chaotic characteristics. Everyone can only see that what he opened up is just an ordinary spiritual sea. Seeing that it was an ordinary spiritual sea, Long Xiao Tian finally got a little comfort in his heart. What he created was the Dragon King spiritual sea, which was extremely inclusive and far superior to ordinary spiritual seas. Moreover, a Dragon King spiritual sea of 1,000 feet can be equivalent to an ordinary spiritual sea of 2,000 feet. He opened up a foot Dragon King spirit sea, which is equivalent to an ordinary spirit sea of feet, it seems. In the awakened state, Tian may not be able to beat him. The poor child is still being misled by his own eyes, as everyone knows. In the same realm, if he dared to fight Tian, he couldn't even slap him a few times. However, that strong momentum is far from stopping, and it keeps expanding. It didn't take long to expand to 2,000 feet. Some elders were shocked, their eyes widened, and they wanted to say something, but Tian didn't give him the chance. Not long after, 3,000 feet. 4,000 feet. 5,000 feet. 6,000 feet. 7,000 feet. 8,000 feet. Fuck, read that right. Is the old man blind? Fuck, am I dreaming? What did I see? The spiritual sea of 8,000 feet, and, it's still rising. Outside the gate of the Yi family, there were some elders and guests of the immortal force. Not long after the shock was over, their eyes widened again, and they felt that they were old and dizzy. A white-haired elder said to the people behind him, "What the hell, whoever wants to come to the Yi family will come. Anyway, the old man will never come again. I've come to this place too much, it's really a blow to my heart. It doesn't matter if you are physically strong, but you are so strong when you step into the awakened state, and you have opened up such a huge spiritual sea. How can I wait for the younger generation to survive? That I was worried about my own children in my heart. What a misfortune to be in the same era as this freak." Immediately, he made up his mind that after returning to the family, he must tell the younger generation that he can offend anyone in the future, but never offend Tian of the Yi family otherwise. You can't fight the background, you can't fight the talent, you can't fight everything. Thinking about Junlin, the god emperor back then, when he opened up the spiritual sea, he only opened up the Zhang Linghai of absolute beginning, right? In this way, it's not as good as Linghai's quality, but simply compared to Linghai's range, even the god emperor is behind Tian. Ye's parents were discussing with each other, their faces were ruddy and excited. My young master is really the spokesperson of miracles. However, this is far from Tian's limit. What he wants, this truly breaks the eternal limit. 9,000 feet. More than that, Tian said in a low voice. Under the impact of endless divine power, the scope of his spiritual sea broke through the mark and skyrocketed to 10,000 feet. Everyone was shocked, thinking that it was time to stop. Tianyu was startled, and suddenly said, "I am not satisfied with the first level of awakening." Chapter 87 1 Step 1 Layer, Awakening 6 Layers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tian's words were astonishing, and the golden light in his eyes was shining, extremely bright. That young body seemed to contain infinite energy. It was extremely terrifying and palpitating, like a young god of war. At this moment, he has opened up a vast chaotic spiritual sea. In other words, the chaotic spiritual sea opened up by Tian is comparable to an ordinary spiritual sea of feet. How terrifying, it is simply indescribable, beyond imagination. Tian not only did it in the realm of qi and blood, but also broke through the eternal limit and achieved the name of invincibility. Similarly, just stepping into the road of awakening, stepping into the realm of awakening, a chaotic spiritual sea of 10,000 feet has been opened up, once again breaking the limit and becoming invincible. No one can compare in quantity or quality. God Emperor Junlin, after stepping into the road of awakening, opened up a spiritual sea, which was only 7,000 feet from the beginning of the spiritual sea. This level is already against the sky. But compared to Yi Tian, it was far behind. No matter in the realm of Qi and blood or in the realm of awakening, Yi Tian surpassed his father. It's just that, people don't know. I only know that Yi Tian opened up a vast spiritual sea, but even so, it's still amazing. The holy son of the North Pole, the young master of Xuanhuan, the holy son of Yuheng, the holy son of Yaoguang, etc., who dared to speak out, just kept silent like that, admiring Yi Tian's supreme demeanor. As for Long Xiao Tian, he clenched his hands tightly, and his fingers were deeply embedded in the flesh, with bloodshot eyes appearing. His pupils were scarlet and extremely angry. In the physical body competition in the realm of Qi and blood, he lost, and was tortured to the point where his body was bruised. He couldn't even catch up with his back, and he was destined to be suppressed in the future. Now that foot Dragon King Spirit Sea he opened up is equivalent to an foot ordinary Spirit Sea, but compared to Yi Tian's Wanli Ling Hai, it's too insignificant. The gap between the two has widened again, coupled with his physical disadvantages. Long Xiao Tian didn't know how to vent. If there is another dispute between the two in the future, if they are in the same realm, there is a high probability that Long Xiao Tian will be suppressed as well. Elder, when I return to the ancestral dragon's nest, give me special devil training. I want to break the limit. And, isn't there a dragon forbidden area inside the ancestral dragon's nest? According to legend, it was left behind by a giant of the dragon clan in ancient times, and it contained mysterious dragon clan secrets. If I can get him, in the same realm, I also have the confidence to wrestle with the son of the god emperor. Long Xiao Tian said in a low voice. It was in stark contrast to the disdain and contempt when he first came. Obviously, he did not expect that a mere mortal body could break the limit many times and create miracles. If you don't make progress, you will be thrown away sooner or later, or even suppressed so that you can't hold your head up. Long Outyan still has the heart to catch up. As for the others, they had already lost confidence, and decided in their hearts that it was okay to be rampant in the future, but they definitely did not dare to provoke Yi Tian, this evildoer again, especially the young master Xuanhuan, who muttered a few words to his elders, extremely mysterious. But the truth is, after preparing the matter here, go and beg Yi Tian to become his follower. Since you can't get the only destiny, then hold your thighs tightly, and you will have a piece of the pie in the future. And Yi Tian is still outside the center, trying his best to sublimate, seems to be accumulating energy, ready to do something earth-shattering. No one dares to disturb, and the surrounding area is quiet. As for those external forces, especially those who have a bad relationship with the Xuanhui family, they are naturally extremely jealous, but they absolutely dare not make a move in the open. Beheading his son in front of the god emperor, obliterating the hope of the future of the Yi family. Stop dreaming. There used to be a restricted area of life, and the three immortal forces did the same, but the grass on their graves grew taller than people. Yi Tian slowly landed on the ground, surrounded by the divine splendor, and took a step forward. Boom! Vaguely, there was a roaring sound from Yi Tian's body. Then, a shackle appeared outside Yi Tian's body, and then there were dense cracks, and with a bang, the shackle shattered. Yi Tian's aura became stronger and stronger. No one dared to disrespect his young body. Awakening realm, second heaven. Not only that, but another step forward. In the same situation as before, there was a thunderous roar, accompanied by the shattering of the shackles. Awakening realm, three heavens. This scene stunned everyone's eyes. What's going on? The son of the god emperor has just entered the awakened state. Doesn't he need precipitation? Such a rapid breakthrough. What is he trying to do? Every step you take, you will raise a small level. This. What a majestic energy. Can it support such a level of improvement? Outside the gate of the Yi family, some guests with immortal forces were dumbfounded and exclaimed, they are newcomers, but they didn't expect to see such an explosive scene when they first arrived. As for those guests who have been watching the battle for a long time, the elders and others all have an indifferent attitude. By the way, he waved his hand, as if to say, don't be six in the basics. New here, don't be dumbfounded, prepare your melon seeds and watch the show. Maybe, this is just the beginning for others. Some of the new guests were very confused, and they couldn't understand what they were talking about. However, it's much more than that. Yi Tian stepped out again, sonorous and powerful. his skin was as white as agate crystal, but the runes flowed beside him, and the brand manifested, extremely sacred. Another shackle was broken, the realm of awakening, the fourth heaven. Awakening realm, fifth heaven. Is this still a human? He's just a 3-year-old child. In the realm of chi and blood, he became the leader of all ages. Now that he has just stepped into the realm of awakening, he has made breakthroughs. Is there any way for people of the same age to survive? Some great powers have already despaired, and they wish to return to the family, seal their own Tianjiao children in the source of God, and come out later. Such a quick breakthrough will inevitably lead to unstable foundation and vain blood. It's destined not to be a big deal. A grinning visitor with squinted eyes said that he seemed to understand. Oh. What breed of cow and horse are you? He is at the top of the eternal physical body list, and he defeated the eternal emperor with his physical body alone. The breakthrough is too fast, and it will not affect his supreme foundation. Vitality and blood. One punch is 300 million caddies, more than enough to kill you, a small dog. As for the rude visitors, before the elders of the Yi family could open their mouths, some powerful elders who had a good relationship with the Xuanhuan Yi family would come forward. Yi Tian, on the other hand, is still stepping forward, making a breakthrough. Boom! With the last roar, Yi Tian stopped improving and chose to restrain himself, the realm of awakening, the sixth heaven. If Yi Tian is willing, he can continue to break through, surpass the limit, and even reach the peak of awakening. But he chose to stop. It was too high profile, not his style, and he had to take every step steadily. My God, you. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Junlin called softly. Yi Tian turned around, restrained his breath, and controlled his terrifying aura. At this moment, he has returned to the posture of a 3-year-old child, with a sweet smile and an incomparably childish look. Stretching his calf, he immediately ran to Yi Junlin's side, and jumped up to give him a bear hug, like an octopus, wrapped around his father. Father, how is Tian doing? Yi Tian said in a childish voice. Her teeth were as white as jade, and her smile was very sweet, but falling into Yi Junlin's eyes, it always feels weird. How are you doing? Hey, your father is the third in the eternal body list. You directly defeated the eternal emperor at the top of the leaderboard, and you still need to ask me how you performed? If that's the case, it's fine, and I took advantage of the trend to break through a wave of awakening and step into the road of awakening. The 10,000-foot spiritual sea has been opened up, and in the tens of thousands of feet of spiritual sea, Yi Junlin always feels that there is a mysterious force, which is definitely not as simple as it seems. Yi Junlin is no fool, he is invincible in the eternal immortal realm, and he has eaten more salt than anyone else. His son has a big secret, and he has long been aware of it. It's just, still can't penetrate to the source, but the children and grandchildren have their own children and grandchildren. As long as it is beneficial to his son, he doesn't care. Tian performed very well. What reward do you want? Yu Lioli came up and touched Yi Tian's head, and said dotingly, her eyes narrowed like crescent moons. Mother, Tian wants to go out and play outside Wan Guye's house. Yi Tian is worthy of being a little devil in the world. From the beginning to the end, he wanted to roam around, play around, and enjoy life. Tian is only 3 years old now. Don't forget what mother promised you. When the time comes, she will naturally take Tian out to play. And, first take Tian to the holy land of Yaochi. There are beautiful sisters everywhere, and your fiancée, she is the holy body of the moon. Yi Tian listened, his eyes rolled up. His mother was drawing big cakes for him every day. However, he is only 3 years old, and has just stepped into the road of awakening, so his strength is humble now. Coupled with the fact that the talented people showed their holiness in front of others, it aroused the fear of eternal prior to the major forces. If she shows up in the mortal world, she will definitely be targeted, and may be wiped out. It's better to develop insignificantly first, and then play in 10,000 worlds in the future. What's more, the Xuanhuan family is so huge, the area he explored is not even 1/10 of it. Or stay in the family and play again. Seeing that the emperor's family is so harmonious, the elders of the many main branches of the Yi family, as well as the hall masters and pavilion masters of various halls and halls, all feel warm. The God Emperor suppressed the current world. The son of the God Emperor suppresses the future. One generation is stronger than the next. The Yi family will always prosper, stand in the heavens and worlds, and be at the top forever. God Emperor Yongmian. Young Master, eternal years. God Emperor Yongmian. Young Master, eternal years. Numerous Yi family disciples knelt down to pay homage, and shouted in their mouths. Their expressions were extremely excited, as if they were paying homage to their idols. In the past, their idol was Yi Junlin, the current God Emperor, the strongest monk in the world. Now there is another one, that is the young master Yi Tian. The eternal physical body tops the list, one step at a time, opening up a vast spiritual sea, and with a mortal body. This little brother really didn't disappoint my sister. Yi Xuanhuan covered her mouth, her phoenix eyes flickered, staring at Yi Tian with satisfaction. For a moment, she had the idea of a small horse-drawn cart. Indeed, there is no second person in history who can do this with a mortal body, Yi Changqiang said in amazement. With sword eyebrows and star eyes, the silver armor was shining brightly, like a god of war. The look of shock in his eyes was hard to get rid of. He possesses the body of the silver dragon, and enters 7 times and exits 7 times. He once killed other arrogances on an ancient battlefield, and those who heard his name fled in terror. The strength of the physical body is also naturally strong, ranking at the bottom of the eternal physical body list. Fortunately, the young master didn't choose him to challenge, otherwise he would be ashamed and killed with a punch. In the future, I am afraid that he will not be able to hold his head up within the family, and will be laughed at by the other sequence talents. Hey, the little master is really fierce. Huang Ruoshi spoke the words of tigers and wolves. It seemed that something was wrong, but it seemed that she was right. Su Qinglian nodded, fully approving that Yi Tian's strength was definitely something they had never seen in their entire lives. The little master is probably exhausted. Take good care of the little master to take a bath and change clothes tonight, and sleep peacefully. The 2 women looked at each other and smiled, saying nothing. I am also curious in my heart. Although Yi Tian is only 3 years old, his body is already 5 or 6 years old. I just don't know if the little bird has grown up. Today, my son Yi Tian became the new leader of all ages. His physical strength exceeded 300 million caddies, breaking the limit of his physical body. It is worthy of the Yi family's celebration. Issuing an edict, all the children of the Yi family can receive 3 times the cultivation resources per day within 1 month. All the elders of Ye's family can get an ancient Tao scripture, study, and go further on the road of Tao. My Yi family will naturally not treat the friendly forces who came to watch the ceremony today. Yi Junlin's voice is like a bell, resounding between heaven and earth. Hearing this, all the people boiled. Whether it is a disciple of the Yi family or many elders of the Yi family, the mood is like a volcano. Unexpectedly, the young master ascended to heaven, and they also obtained the Tao. To be able to get such generous treatment, especially for those ordinary Yi family children, within 1 month, they can receive 3 times the cultivation resources per day. There is no doubt that they will have more resources to hit the next level. I am even more convinced in my heart that as long as I hold the young master's thigh well, the benefits in the future, that is great. As for those immortal forces who are not on good terms with the Wanguyi family, their faces are gloomy, and they are about to drip water. When they came here on their own, not only were their views refreshed, but they were also shocked speechless by the son of the God Emperor. Now that the bamboo basket fetched water all to no avail, he was supposed to come to see a joke, but ended up being slapped in the face. Now I haven't got any benefits, so I can only go back in disgrace. Especially Ancestral Dragon Nest, the elders, and everyone who came, their faces were very ugly. Long Xiaotian's eyes were red and his face was ferocious. Today, he lost both physically and spiritually. He lost completely and was completely crushed. Let's go. With a wave of one hand, Long Xiaotian returned to the profound arc he was riding on, and couldn't stay any longer. The elders and many attendants also entered one after another, and their mentality exploded as they stayed here to see what they were looking at. The Holy Land of Yuheng and the Holy Land of Yaoguang felt a little unsure whether to please the Yi family or not to interfere with each other. With the innate strength Yi Tian showed, if he grows steadily, it will not be a problem to surpass the God Emperor in the future. On whose shoulders will the destiny of this world of great controversy fall in? The end? Many guests left one after another, and the representatives of the Xuanhuan clan and the Arctic Holy Land looked at each other and nodded. After a while, I will go to the top of the Yi family to express my surrender and friendship to the Yi family. At the same time, let the Tianjiao children of their own family follow Yi Tian, and they will be able to make great achievements in the future. Chapter 89, The Most Holy, Calligraphy and Painting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time flies. If the time flies by, it will be gone in the blink of an eye. It has been a year since Yi Tian challenged the eternal body ranking and won the top spot. During this year, the eternal immortal realm was not peaceful, and was even extremely lively. Yi Tian's news spread throughout the heavens and worlds, from the ancestor-level monks half buried in the earth, down to the Tianjiao children who have just stepped into the road of cultivation. Those who heard Yi Tian's name were all frightened. After all, he is the only mortal freak with physical strength of 300 million caddies who defeated the eternal emperor throughout the ages. The influence of this matter is not small. Countless mortal monks have regained their confidence, are full of confidence in themselves, yearn for it in their hearts, and work harder. It seems to be because other people's mortal body can do what my mortal body can't do. And countless Tianjiao children and the younger generation are no longer as slack and relaxed as before. They dare not. The first meteor in the world of great contention appeared, releasing bright light. Just like the butterfly effect, countless children Tianjiao are rising, and some Tianjiao children have entered their own secret realm or forbidden area. They must practice hard and compete in this golden world. There are rumors that in the Nantian Daozong, a Tianjiao named Sancheng Daozi was born out of nowhere. He was pregnant with the Nantian Taoist body. He was only 5 years old and defeated the 8-year-old Tianjiao. Among the Phoenix clan, a mysterious woman also appeared. At only 6 years old, she received the inheritance from the ancestors of the Phoenix clan. The blood in her body was infinitely pure, and the degree of atavism reached 80%. There is also Xuanhuan, the young master of Haran sect, who was still a child at a young age. He awakened the righteousness of Haran and suppressed 3 Tianjiao who were mainly cultivated by other sects. The prelude to the golden world has also gradually opened, and the beginning of all this was Yi Tian. It's just, our rightful lord is still in his own palace at this moment, enjoying a gentle embrace, with a mouthful of milk on the left and fruit on the right. Yi Tian was lying in Huang Ruoshi's arms. The turbulent and majestic mountains above his head were extremely warm and soft. Huang Ruoshi was still feeding him milk with one hand, while feeding the peeled fruit with her mouth, and then put it into Yi Tian's mouth. As for Su Qinglian, she massaged up and down with her slender hands, euphemistically calling it, "Little Master activates the meridians." At the same time, the little dragon beside him was also shaking a big cattail fan with his forelimbs to relieve Yi Tian from the heat. Such an extravagant life, even the ancient King Zhou would call him an expert when he saw it. It's worth mentioning that during this year, the little dragon has also grown a lot. His body is more slender, and the dragon scales, like pearls and gems, exude brilliance. The forelimbs and limbs are much longer, and the body is more graceful and supple. The dragon's horn on the forehead has also become longer, more like it is made of jade. It is extremely beautiful. During this year, Yi Tian played with little dragons a lot. He played when he ate and slept when he played. In his spare time, he rides a little dragon and holds the horns of the dragon in his hand, just like manipulating a steering wheel. Xiaolong took Yi Tian to play in Ye's house, constantly doing bad things, very happy. He also repeatedly emphasized in his heart, "Bad embryo master, after growing up, I must ride you under me." Thanks to the outside world, people are still frantically talking about how hard Yi Tian, the young master of the Wangu Yi family, is working, indulging in practice at an age when you should be playing, just to become stronger. If they saw this scene with their own eyes, they would cry and laugh and shake their heads, not knowing what to say. And the Tianjiao children from outside really believed it, and they always followed Yi Tian as an example. He believed that Yi Tian could achieve such an achievement entirely because of his own efforts. System, isn't it right? Didn't my host work hard? He is also working hard to sleep, play hard, and lie down flat. This is not hard work. So what is hard work? During this year, the system and Yi Tian never stopped bickering, but, the system always loses. No way, my host doesn't pamper me, who will pet me? It seems that Lai Yang passed by, and the sleepiness was not so obvious. Tian slowly opened his eyes, the shining eyes immediately reflected the beautiful faces of the two maids. Little master, are you awake? Why don't you sleep for a while? Xuanhuan asked with concern. Tian shook his head and straightened his body. Didn't mother send someone to say yesterday that some master is coming? Prepare to deal with it. Tian said in a daze, although he said he had to deal with it, but there was no sign of seriousness. Liuli deliberately told the children of the Xuanhuan family to not only work hard to practice, but also learn piano, chess, calligraphy, painting and other talents to achieve the all-round development of morality, intelligence, physique and beauty after officially entering the path of practice at the age of 3. For him, the son of the God Emperor, the young master of the Yi family must take care of him extremely. He has been so successful on the road of cultivation. If he is inferior to others in other respects, wouldn't it be too cheap, like a beast that can only use force? Moreover, Yi Junlin seems to want to train him deliberately, so that he can become a gentle and polite little prince in the world. Say what? The external image plus the built-in quality, proficient in all kinds of piano, chess, calligraphy and painting, will be convenient to seduce girls in the future, and can spread a lot of branches and leaves for their lineage, and there will be thousands of descendants in the future. Yi Tian was also speechless. He was only 4 years old so far, and he was still a little bird. No matter what, we should wait until we become the real big kunkan. I didn't expect my parents to be so anxious, and there is a systematic way of attracting Taoist companions, and when he looks back and smiles, 100 flowers are blooming. I still have to find some kind of calligraphy and painting master for myself, and I want to teach myself how to learn calligraphy and painting. There is no need at all, but because of my mother's face, I still have to deal with it. Randomly closed his eyes, squinted for a while, but did not fall down, and beckoned. Qinglian understood immediately, and hurriedly helped her little master get dressed. Afterwards, several people came to the outside of the main hall, a pavilion in the middle of the lake with green water, clear water to the sky, mirror flowers and water moon. I was enjoying the scenery, but accompanied by space distortion. A person walked out of it. The face is well defined, like a fine sketch, wearing a large black robe, but it is like a real picture scroll. The patterns on it seem to be painted, and a breath of mountains and rivers rushes towards the face, as if you are in the real scene, making people really feel. See young master. My name is Xuanhuan, who is the sage of calligraphy and painting. He came to Wang Guye's house to guide the young master on the way of calligraphy and painting under the instruction of the God Emperor. Indicated the purpose of this trip, and made a wave of self-introduction by the way. Calligraphy and painting are holy. After hearing these 4 characters, Huang Ruoshi and Qinglian looked carefully at the person in front of them with their phoenix eyes trembling slightly. Maybe Yi Tian is still young and doesn't understand how high the gold content of these 4 words is, but one of them is the princess of the ancient country, and the other is the saint of the great religion. Naturally, they have heard of the title of the most holy calligraphy and painting. Entering Taoism with calligraphy and painting. With the pen in your hand, you can draw the boundless sky, and you can also write with a pen, so that the eternal sky will become an exquisite picture scroll. Chapter 90 The Glass Heart System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Rumors. This master of calligraphy and painting, who is a master of calligraphy and painting, usually sees his head and tail, so don't ask him for help, or to teach his descendants. Even if you want to see him on weekdays, it is extremely difficult. In the past, they wanted to learn piano, chess, calligraphy and painting. The forces behind it also made a move, trying to find this holy calligraphy and painting who was a master of calligraphy and painting, but it is conceivable that they didn't even meet each other. Now, it's really unbelievable to actually show up in person to help Yi Tian learn calligraphy and painting. But thinking about it, Yi Tian is the son of the God Emperor, the current young master of the Yi family, and the future master of the Yi family. It is a great honor for this sage of calligraphy and painting to be able to teach Yi Tian to learn calligraphy and painting. Dare to ask this master, can you show your hand? Yi Tian said in a crisp voice. If drunk, the eyes are like stars, shining full of starlight, making people intoxicated. seeing that this young master of the Yi family is so cute, and has extremely powerful aptitude. He is the head of the new generation, with physical strength that is invincible in the same realm. Now there is such a studious heart, how can anyone not like it? Xuanhuan smiled slightly. Since the young master is curious, let's show it off. If this child, after seeing his great way of calligraphy and painting, he might be extremely admirable, and immediately want to learn the way of calligraphy and painting from himself. After all, Yi family's top management did invite him, but the more reason was that after hearing the rumors about Yi Tian, they became curious about him and wanted to find out. A child who could defeat the eternal emperor, let alone a child, he never even dared to think about. After all, when he was a child, he also challenged the eternal body ranking, but it's a pity that his body is weak, and he can't even make a name on the list. Young master, watch it. What is the way of calligraphy and painting? This is the way of calligraphy and painting. Xuanhuan is full of self-confidence. He is the sage of calligraphy and painting, and he enters Taoism through calligraphy and painting. Now he has become a generation of masters, and his cultivation is all built on the bridge of calligraphy and painting. He is also confident that he started his career with calligraphy and painting, does not belong to any arrogance, and will definitely make great achievements in the future. It's a pity that I am old, although my face is no different from that of a middle-aged person, but he knew, he couldn't last long, at most tens of thousands of years. During this period, it would be best if an inheritor could be found. At this moment, Yi Dan, who was far away in the alchemy room, and Yi Jianshan, who was practicing in the Beast Mountain range, sneezed in unison. The two said in unison, "Who is speaking ill of me behind my back? Or is someone playing with some bad idea?" But Yi Tian's eyes flickered, and he couldn't wait to see what kind of strength this sage of calligraphy and painting had. Xuanhuan smiled slightly, and when he raised his hand, the void shattered, and a brush came out. But this is not an ordinary problem. The runes are engraved on it, which can break through the void, which is extremely terrifying, and the tip of the pen seems to be made of the hairs of some ferocious beasts. Immediately, in front of the three of them, he stretched out his hand, took the brush, and waved it casually a few times towards the void in front of his eyes. Is this some kind of advanced painting technique? Huang Ruoshi said curiously, because when Xuanhuan was painting and calligraphy, there was no movement in the void in front of him, as if nothing happened. Yi Tian and the others are laymen, so naturally they don't understand. Looking at the blank expressions of Yi Tian and his two maids, Xuanhuan was secretly proud, and the corners of his mouth curled up. Boy, are you dumbfounded? Do you think this saint is just scribbling? The good show is coming soon. Boom! Like a thunderclap, the space in front of him suddenly shattered, and countless cracks appeared, as if the world was shattered. Huang Ruoshi and Su Qinglian suddenly came to Yi Tian's life and protected him, but Yi Tian shook his young arm and didn't care at all. Through the introduction of the system, he also knew that Xuanhuan was just playing tricks, and wanted to pretend to be a big push. It's a pity that there is a system, with sharp eyes, who can see through it at a glance. The void is distorted and broken, the runes are flowing, and the laws are scattered. It seems to be constructing a brand new world. However, within half a stick of incense, a brand new world greets my eyes. Yi Tian and the others are here, without the previous Huxin pavilion, and there is no mirror image. They seem to be in the world of calligraphy and painting, where ink and wash are everywhere, black and white, yin and yang flow. Everything is alive and vivid, but if there is nothing, it is extremely magical. Seeing such a magnificent scene with his own eyes, even Yi Tian couldn't help but be shocked by it. It was too terrifying, and the scenery was too magnificent to be unexpected. He secretly said in his heart, "Is this the master who entered Taoism through calligraphy and painting? System, huh? Someone dared to pretend to be aggressive in front of my host, and it succeeded. It is absolutely not allowed." At this moment, the voice of the system sounded in his mind. Ding ding ding, I detected the breath of calligraphy and painting avenue. Ding ding ding, Xuanhuan, the sage of calligraphy and painting, has been detected, and wants to teach the host how to learn calligraphy and painting. Ding ding ding, the host of this system does not need a guide, the system will start to upgrade automatically. Ding ding ding, the system has been upgraded successfully, the calligraphy and painting mode is turned on. Calligraphy and painting mode, all the paintings and calligraphy that the host has seen can be seen at a glance. Listening to the voice in his mind, Tian felt a little emotional. This guy is too good at making troubles, and, it seems a bit glassy, isn't he just watching a picture drawn by a master of painting and calligraphy? It was as if he was going to be abducted by others. The system was frightened, and he quickly turned on the calligraphy and painting mode, but, the performance of the most sacred calligraphy and painting is far from over. After entering the world of calligraphy and painting, Xuanhuan picked up his pen and made a few random strokes, but it contained unparalleled principles of calligraphy and painting, as if, had realized the true meaning. In the next few strokes, countless creatures were created, some of which even Tian had never seen before. In the world of calligraphy and painting, I am the king. I am the creator of the world. I can create or destroy at will. This is the way of calligraphy and painting, and it is also my own way. Hearing this, Tian fell into deep thought. The calligraphy and painting in front of me is the most holy, and you can create and destroy at will in your own painting and calligraphy world, and the calligraphy and painting mode that the system opened for me seems to be something I have seen before, and I can understand it at a glance. But what if you haven't seen it? Wouldn't it be abolished? There is no independent innovation ability at all. This is a big problem. Hey, it seems that Tongzi is not omnipotent, although it was what he thought in his heart. It was also heard by the system. Ding ding ding, it is detected that the way of painting and calligraphy is extremely powerful, and the stimulation system continues to upgrade. Ding ding ding, it is detected that the host is dissatisfied with the system's calligraphy and painting talents, and the system is stimulated to continue upgrading. Ding ding ding, upgrading. Ding ding ding, upgrading. Ding ding ding, upgrading. Ding ding ding, the upgrade is successful. The system is on God-level calligraphy and painting mode.